Hello guys, in this video we're going to cover the N8N data tables, which was a new feature from N8N. So what is a data table? So data table is actually a local storage, so like the database for N8N. So in previous N8N versions, they usually import data from third-party resources like an Airtable or Google Sheet. So there's a lot of issues with the API call if you make a lot of calls to those services. So N8N decided to actually create a local cache, or you can call it a local cache or local table, so they can actually get all the data from those resources and store locally on N8N. So, which is very useful. As you can see here, already created a local table, a local data table, so called local business. You can see there's only 20 rows, and the source table is from the Google Sheet. You can see this exact the same data as in the data table. So we did import everything from the Google Sheet to a local N8N data store, which is a local data table. And so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do that and all the features from the data table that you can leverage for your own project. So that being said, let's get started. So if you create a workflow, and you can see something similar in this one. So basically what it does is actually trying to test out the data table features, like the delete table, or delete all the rows in the table, or get all the rows in the table, or basically to insert data to this data table. So in this test, we just use the Google Sheet we created, and we basically first we try to remove all the data, right? So we just try to test out these different operations for a data table. Let's say, for example, if you want to add the node to workflow, just click plus sign and search for data table. You can see data table is available as a node and also available as a tool. Basically, you can use AI agent to call it. So we already built this workflow, so let's go through that one by one. So first, we're trying to delete all the rows in a data table. So you can just add a feature, search for data table, and click on the data table. You can see basically these are all the functions available. So for example, want to delete everything, so then just add this delete rows. So let's run it, and you can see everything is executed correctly. And go to the data tables and then refresh it. You can see there's no rows anymore. So basically everything is deleted. Let's go back to the workflow and let's reconnect it to the insert rows. So this will actually insert all the rows from the spreadsheet to the data table. So let's run that. So you can see everything is inserted correctly, and let's refresh it. So all the rows are inserted, 20 rows. Let's go back to the workflow. There's a little bit issue from this new data table. So if you go to the last node in this workflow, so you can see that there's only 20 items, but when you get the rows, it shows 400 items, even though it actually inserted only 20 items in the data. And if you actually reconnect it to the get rows workflow, let's go to this workflow. Let's run that again. You can see there's only 20 items, but once you actually go to this get rows, if you attach the entire different workflow after insert, then it actually displayed incorrectly. So there's one issue, one bug that it might have to fix, but other than that, I think the data table works pretty well during the testing. So also, if you actually run this again, because all the rows are inserted, then you should be able to only see the execution ends up in this specific node, which means that everything is already in the data table, so which is pretty good. So next, we want to test the AI agent. So for example, I want to use this data table tool as a AI agent tool calling. So you just have to build a basic AI agent workflow and then attach a model, then attach this data table tool. So for example, you can actually specify some of the description of the tool, and what you're trying to do is to get some of the data in the data table. So, and you can see after you run it. For example, we try to just run a test. Let's say open the chat. You can see we already did some testing. So can you get some local restaurant business data? So it actually run the tool and also give me some the data from the data table, so, which is cool. But we need more testing to actually figure out if this is actually working perfectly or if there's some issues. But in this video, we're gonna not do that. But this the table tool did work. So if you actually want to build a workflow with the data table, so for example, we want to actually import everything from different resources to a local data table, then just add the node, but also map out the field from whatever the resources we want to use. For example, if you use the spreadsheet, then you have to run the spreadsheet first and just map all the rows or specific columns in the spreadsheet to this data table. In this example, we actually mapped this name field. So this way we'll get everything filtered by name. So in this case, the name should exist in the data table. If it doesn't exist, then we do not do the import. If it does exist, we should not import it, but if it doesn't, we should import it. So this is the condition check. After that, we just insert everything. And so basically we just have to select this operation as an insert. So that should be it. But once you actually try to insert, also make sure that you select all the field you want to insert. For example, if this is all the rows in the Google spreadsheet, you try to map everything to this data table columns, right? So basically name, category, address, phone, ratings, make sure you map everything out, then you should be able to insert correctly. So that should be it. So hopefully this is helpful. And if you do like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment. If you have any questions, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and see you in the next one.